Hi folks, Modelling Mark here again. The next part of the Quorn project, I'm going to start tackling this micrometer adjuster. Now the purpose of this is to move this front bar to left and right by quite precise amounts, so you can bring the tool being sharpened into the grinding wheel in very small steps. Here's the detail view. You've got the micrometer body, part 107, and the micrometer screw, part 109. And that screws in and out and pushes this bar in and out, and there's a spring in the other end to allow it to move. The third main part is the thimble. This can be rotated on the micrometer screw, and it's held with a spring and a couple of ball bearings to give a bit of friction. And it can be rotated in the same manner as the dials on a lathe. There's the isometric drawing of the thimble. You can see the groove for the ball bearings and the graduations and numbers punched around. And there's the actual drawing of it. Now that part I'm going to leave until later. I still need to make the graduating tool to mark these index lines. I also need to make an indexing head for the lathe so I can turn the chuck round and lock it at regular angles. This is the part we're going to tackle today, micrometer body, which is made out of cast iron. Thread down the middle, 3 holes for fixing it, and a scribed index line. This is made out of a 40mm diameter piece of iron. I've faced it off. The first thing I'm going to do is drill it and put the thread down the middle. The thread is 3/8 BSF, which is a 20 TPI thread. Now the builder's notes suggest making the hole fractionally oversized from the standard tapping drill. This is to make sure that the threads are actually resting firmly on the flanks of the thread and not on the crests. So we reduce the height of the crests by a few thou. So the recommended tapping drill is 21/64. I'm going to use a letter Q drill. 21/64 is 0.328 of an inch. Q is 0.332. So we're looking about 4 thou oversized. The hole needs to be about 1.25 inches deep. It's actually a through hole through the body. The body is 1.25 inches long roughly. This piece of stock has got a chucking allowance, so I'll go in 1.25 inches and a bit. I'm having to hold this by hand because it keeps trying to jump out of the spring-loaded tap follower. I'm going to turn the camera off now because it's getting in the way. So I shall bring you back when I've finished the tapping. That's the hole tapped. That took quite a lot of effort, mind you. It's the 3/8 tap is about 10 mil. It's quite a large thread. So the next task is to turn this diameter down to 1.5 inches. I'll slow that down a little bit. There was a little bit of chatter starting to creep in. Yeah, that's a lot happier. $65 thou, which is and that's come out at 1.5 inches on the nose. Sod's law, isn't it? With a dimension that's not critical and you get it spot on. Now I need to turn a diameter of 1 inch for a length of 13/16. So I've got a carriage stop set up. I'm going to aim for a couple of thou under 1 inch because there's a collar that goes over here with the graduations on, and I don't want that to rub on here. I want that to be a slight clearance. That's showing just on 1 inch, so I'm going to take another couple of thou off. That's showing about 2 thou under, so I shall just check spring pass and then I shall clean up on this outer face. That's cleaned up that face nicely, and just a quick polish on this face. Right, now the last operation in this setup is just to scribe an index line on here. I've put a chamfer tool in the tool holder, turned 90 degrees. And that's just starting to scribe. There you can just about see the line there. Doesn't show up brilliantly on the camera, but when I've finished I shall fill that with some black wax, which will show that up nicely. Now all I need to do is part it off. Right, now I've got to part this off. There's a 3/16 width here, and then there's a 1/16 step which is 1 inch diameter. So I'm going to run the parting off tool in to 1 inch diameter, then I'm going to come out, move over a 1/16, and then finish parting the part off completely. Well, it's cutting, but it's chattering like crazy. Right, and I'm going to have to go over and start doing the second cut because I don't have enough width to get my caliper in there. Well, considering that was chattering like crazy, it's actually not too bad. Cocked up that diameter and it's come out about 15 thou undersized, but I don't think that's going to matter. If it proves to be a problem, then I'll end up just having to remake the part, which will be a shame, but never mind. Last operation on the micrometer body is to drill and countersink the 3 holes. This is the same setup I used before, 2 thin parallels, so I've got enough space to get the drill down between the body and the edge, and an adjustable parallel to give it a bit more support. Now the DRO is 0 to the centre, and I'll use the 3-hole bolt pattern to drill this. I think I still want to go a little bit further. Yeah, that will do nicely. That's just gone flush. And that was with the DRO on the Z reading 1.920. So it should be a case of just repeating that on the other 2 holes, and we should be a good one. And there we are, that's the finished micrometer body. The finish is a little bit rough there, but a few machining marks, but not too bad. This side has been nicely polished and you can see the index line there nicely. Another piece off the list. That's it for this video. The next Quorn video will be the micrometer screw that goes with this part. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, leave them below. I read them all and I answer nearly all of them. Thank you. See you soon.